first of all, Maddie, for you, a strong performance overall, 15 points. But what was kind of the big part of the second half push for you guys in terms of, getting more points on the board and pulling away from them?
I think at halftime we needed to make a lot of adjustments defensively. Our defensive intensity wasn't there, and that's something that we've been pretty passionate about this season. So we know that defense leads into offense, and I think that's ultimately why we ended up getting more offensive possessions and more shots were falling for us.
Liv, do you work on that kind of mid-range floating jump shot, from the paint? Do you work on that a lot? Because it seems like every time you pull up in the paint there and do that little floater, it falls.
I do. That's a shot that I think I've taken a lot since high school, and it's kind of where I feel most comfortable. So yeah, I'm a mid-range pull-up girl.
And Maddie, when you had Liv in foul trouble, you had Chloe in foul trouble, Hannah was in foul trouble in that first half. You guys were still able to persevere and keep the game close despite having those three starters out. What was kind of the message to the team when those three were down and you guys kind of just had to keep fighting?
Well, I think a lot of it came from them still leading on the bench and our whole bench still leading from the bench. I think we were loud, we were engaged, everyone on the court knew that we just lost a big core of our team, but we have a lot of great kids on our team, so they were ready to pick up right where the other three left off, and I think that's it.
Liv, Western Illinois does force a lot of turnovers, but did you expect them to be as disruptive as they were in the first quarter?
We practiced against the reach behind, the kind of flying around defense, but Western is a different animal. They're always feisty. They speed you up and they make you make some poor decisions. But I think just kind of getting used to that pace and learning from mistakes in the first half, that gave us a better second half.
After Chloe dove on the floor, it seemed like that sort of awakened you guys, or at least you went on a run after that. Did you feel the energy after that?
I thought our Coyote faithful were good pretty much throughout, which happy for them, happy for us, because we didn't give them a good show in the first half. But yeah, I think when your own gets hurt or gets knocked down, it makes you protective and it makes you want to go fight, go play good defense, hold them down.
Brings some fire for sure. Just what she said, it absolutely brings a little bit more fire and a little bit more intensity to the game. So.
What was the difference in your aggressiveness in the second? Obviously, after that first M1, it seemed like you sort of awakened you a little bit.
I think that was the awakening. I think the first time that I can get to the rim, it kind of just turns it on, and then I feel more comfortable going back. And I think such a huge part is when my teammates are like, do it again. And Aaron at halftime was like, do not stop attacking. Like, do not stop getting to the rim. So that was a big part of that.
What was going through your mind after you made that last M1?
I think a lot of passion. It's a lot of passion. It's fun, and it's basketball, and yes, it can get a little bit chippy, but it's a game, and it fires you up, and Liv knows that. Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Well, I thought we had to really grind that out. I thought Western Illinois played extremely well during large portions of that game. I thought our players had to find a way to kind of weather a storm. I thought at one point in time, Hannah, Chloe, and Liv were all in foul trouble. And I thought a lot of young ladies really stepped up and played important minutes for us, very valuable minutes for us. Third quarter, I thought we played great basketball on both ends of the court. And then had a chance to, continue to weather that storm. Western Illinois is a team that's really challenging to play against because of how they space the floor and what their movement looks like, and kids can really penetrate and score and get you out of balance and then kick it to the next kid who can shoot it or move it to the next kid. And so that becomes a challenge. The way they space the floor, it becomes hard guarding their post kids inside. That becomes pretty tough. And then on their defensive end, our offensive end, I think they're very scrappy. I think they make plays. They really swarm certain kids and make life difficult. But all that being said, I thought our young ladies did a great job of keeping composure and finding a way, and that was really important for us.
And with Louisville losing tonight, your team now has the longest winning streak in the country. I mean, what does that speak to the way this team has been playing over the last 2 months?
It's hard to do that. It's hard to consistently, find that energy that you need to be great defensively, especially. And again, I thought Western Illinois played really, really well and put us in really tough spots and made big plays. And so, I give our players a lot of credit. I thought Janiyah Ugofsky was a young lady who came in and gave us great minutes. It wasn't like she absolutely stuffed the stat sheet, but when she was on the floor, we played at a higher level. She made things happen for us, and that was really good to see.
What was kind of the message at halftime? They hadn't been in a position where they'd really been down at the half in a while. What was kind of that message that, that kind of sparked that second half?
I thought we were playing hard in the first half. There's no question, but we weren't quite as sharp as we needed to be. We missed some details on some assignments and, positioning type of things. And I thought our players really cleaned a lot of that up defensively. And then on the offensive end, our movement got a little bit better, but it also helped because we were able to get a couple things going in transition. And, that makes scoring a little bit easier too.
And Chloe diving for that loose ball in the third quarter took her out for a minute, but it seemed to kind of spark something for the team. They went on the run after that. Was there an extra sense of energy after, seeing their teammate go down for a ball like that?
Well, I think Chloe plays really, really hard. I thought it was a very physical battle, and that was a very physical play. And, Chloe got us the possession. I thought that's where our awareness became better. We were a little bit more scrappy, and we made some plays in the third quarter that we didn't make in the first or second quarter, and that's another example of making one of those plays. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It seems like she's going to be okay, but she's a tough kid, so we got that going for us. But she's obviously hurting. You don't see Chloe Lamb limping around, and so that the kid's in a lot of pain. And took a timeout, when was that, in the fourth quarter to get her out, sub her out and give her some rest, and took it early in the quarter, and I'm thinking, okay, at this point in time, our kids aren't going to get immediate timeout, so they're going to have to kind of suck it up a little bit and play through, and I thought that was a little bit tough, but they did that too.
What was Chloe dealing with when she went to the ground?
Yeah, something kind of in her hip kind of area, so, not exactly sure. No, she's getting evaluated at this point in time.
Was that why she came out towards the end of the game? Okay.
Yeah.
It seemed like you made her laugh a little bit. What were you yelling in her ear after she got up?
It was a big time play. It was. I thought she's someone who makes a lot of things happen. So we had a little moment there at that point in time.
Yeah, and there were a bunch of momentum-changing plays,
Yeah.
pretty much in a row. Right, starting with that one. I guess, can you pinpoint anything that might have been the game changer? Well,
again, I think we're a team defensively that we can guard decently well one-on-one. There's certainly certain players or certain spots, or you get a closeout and then it's not a great one-on-one battle, but you can't guard players in this conference or teams in this conference one-on-one. You've got to be able to help and rotate and recover back to kids. And, I think we didn't do as good of a job helping in the first half, and then when we did help, we didn't recover back. And I thought there were a lot of plays in that third quarter where we started to do both. We started to help and get back to shooters, and it's hard to do that. It takes a lot out of you because, and it's challenging to know when you're supposed to help, who you're supposed to help, how you're supposed to get there, and so I know there were a lot of times during the course of the game, players like Grace kept asking, okay, so when is it my help? When am I supposed to get there? And she's learning. I thought, Grace is someone who gave us some very, very important minutes again. Macy Giebert gave us some really important minutes on the perimeter, and I think Maddie Kroll's continuing to develop and get better, and that's been really big for us.
Of course, challenges like you faced in the first half can sometimes be beneficial in the long run.
Right.
Is it nice to face those challenges and end up with another 10-point win?
Well, it is. I think it's important because we're trying, we got up by 5 or 7. Our coaches were like, this is a good time to take handout. And I'm like, I know, I understand that. You're exactly right. That would be smart and prudent to do that. At the same time, we also have to learn, and she's got to learn how to play hard and play smart. And unfortunately, and she has done that in the past. Unfortunately, she got her third foul, and then the third quarter got her fourth foul. So got to find a way to get Hannah back in the production where she's not just coming out of the game all the time because she's in foul trouble. So, and that's something she wants to. It's been an unfortunate situation, and so we've got to get back into that kind of good mojo with her in that regard. We got to find a way to put her in the right spots, and she's got to find a way to trust her length and all those kind of things.
How has Grace developed throughout the season? Obviously, she keeps on making really good moves and seems to be, obviously getting some more time on the court.
Yeah, Grace is someone who defensively can make a lot of plays. She's really long, she's athletic, and now is learning when to do what, when to help, when to get back, those type of things. She was someone who really liked to reach a whole lot, and now she's learning to play with, and try to keep kids in front and not foul. And because of her length, she's doing a really good job with that. She's someone on the offensive end who can get to the offensive glass. She can score in a lot of different ways. She's long, and she kind of uses that length to get kids off balance and kind of can step by. And now she's getting more comfortable shooting it too. And I think that's going to be really important for her continued growth. And we see it in practice, and we're trying to be very intentional about putting her in spots where she's, continuing to add to her kind of arsenal a little bit. And unfortunately, when you do that, you don't always see that in the game come out to where she made that shot. But there's a progression. You have to practice that shot outside of practice, and you miss it first. And then you practice it outside of practice, and you make it. And then you get in practice, and you miss it in practice. And then you start making it consistently in practice. Then you got to get to the game. And then in the game, you're probably going to miss it before you start making it. And so at least now she's a little bit more comfortable. She and Maddie taking some of those shots that they weren't as comfortable with. It hasn't really gone in as much as they would like it to, but that's all a part of the progression. It's all part of the process. And so they've got to trust that, and we know that, and we trust that. It's just hard as a player because you want every shot to go in.
And Kyah led you in minutes tonight, 9 points, all coming off three-pointers, led the team in rebounds. How important has a healthy Kyah Watson been to this team, dealing with the injuries last year? How much has she helped this team out this year?
Well, she can do so many different things. She can really lock down and defend. She can defend multiple positions, and she can rebound on both ends of the court. And, again, offensively, trying to kind of learn how much she can do for us and when to take advantage of different opportunities. And so, I think she got a little tired during the course of that game. I think we probably needed to find ways to get her some opportunities too. It became a little bit more challenging, certainly, with the foul trouble that we were in, but I thought she, toughed it out and played really well. Awesome, thank you.